drills with our system. Connect to the future with Wire-Free USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
You need to know.
The Nevada Supreme Court has denied a motion by the National Football League to force John Gruden's lawsuit against the NFL to be settled in arbitration instead of a trial. The NFL can attempt to appeal the decision to the United States Supreme Court. Otherwise, Gruden's lawsuit against the NFL will go to trial. Multiple outlets report that Philadelphia Eagles Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson will undergo minor surgery in the coming days on the meniscus in his right knee with the goal of being ready for the regular season opener. Dickerson was injured during last night's open practice at Lincoln Financial Field. Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford did not practice today as he continues to recover from an aggravated disc in his back. The Kansas City Chiefs have placed defensive end Janoris Robinson on injured reserve after he fractured his foot in Saturday's preseason game at Arizona. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
We're ready to go. We're live on Fox Sports Radio. How are you? Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show back on Fox Sports Radio. The Nate Brown Show is in. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Let's get going tonight. Hope you had a nice weekend. Glad to be back. Glad you're here. The Nate Brown Show streaming on X at Nate Brown Show. So watch us live. Welcome in if you're watching on X at Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board there. Also on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. The YouTube channel is live and the archive shows there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You've got us anytime. The Nate Brown Show. Monday edition of the program. Really good stuff. South Dakota sports and beyond. Let's get after it tonight, make you a part of the show, have a little fun. That's why we're here. Thought-provoking sports talk for South Dakota. Let's look at the guest lineup. Jason Andera is going to drop by tonight. Hey, it's the first week of high school sports. High school soccer kicking off. It's match week. It is match week for the high school soccer team, so look out. That's this weekend. Then you got high school football now underway. So all of the schools, everybody's practicing. Some of the big schools in action for the first time today. So all the kids back at it. August 11th. Yes, it starts earlier and earlier, but they're back at it. Jason Andera's in tonight talking high school football. He does a coaches poll. He doesn't get everybody to respond, but gives us a little sense for what people think. I like looking at his coaches poll. So Jason Andera is coming up, high school sports analyst, live tonight from Sioux Falls. We will talk to Kurtiss Riggs tonight. South Dakota football heavyweight, of course, longtime coach of the Storm, Sanford Sports Football Academy. Kurtiss Riggs on tonight. Going to talk some football with Kurtiss and Kalen DeBoer and go down that road, but there's a great event this weekend, and he has a close tie to it. We want to get him on, tell you all about it. Kurtiss Riggs coming up. We'll go national with Scott Petrak. Scott Petrak is the Cleveland Browns beat writer for BrownsZone.com. He's at Browns camp today. What's the reaction to Shedeur Sanders and the debut Friday night? Scott Petrak, NFL writer, Brown Zone from Cleveland, coming up. And James Merilatt's on from Denver, Broncos beat writer, DenverSports.com. James Merilatt is in. Monday show looks good. What do we got popping? Let's get you on 605-720-1067. Lock that number in. That's the studio line for you. Pizza Ranch studio hotline, 605-720-1067. Be a part of the show there. Pizza Ranch studio hotline powered by the Pizza Ranch with 2 locations in Rapid City, also at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Stop by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. It's going to be hot this week. Let the Pizza Ranch do your cooking on the best buffet in town. And then go to the Barron's Wilson text line tonight, 605-720-1067. Text the show there. That's the Barron's Wilson text line for you. The app's open. I've got you covered. 605-720-1067. All right, which way are we going to go tonight? We got a lot of football talk tonight, no doubt. From high school to college to the pros, we'll get after it. I'm going to go to this because I'm not going to let everybody get away with this today. I'm not going to let you get away with this. All of the national media that was ready to come out swinging, they were ready to knock his lung loose. They were going to drill him. And I mean absolutely hit him right between the running lights. We were going to take him down today. That was the goal. We were going to take him down today. Shedeur Sanders, they couldn't take him down today because he actually played well Friday night. So I'm not going to let here's what everybody's saying today. And I'm listening to Fox Sports Radio. I'm listening to Get Up. I'm doing all this stuff. He was as good as he could be. I mean, he was as good as they hoped for. Well, they didn't hope for anything. They hope to take him down because he's arrogant, he's cocky, Dion's a punk. I mean, the whole thing, right? The Sanders show, just so polarizing that nobody has their brains connected when it's like, hey, let's just see how this plays out. They wanted to take him down. They won't recognize how good he was in college. They just won't be able to say it. Everybody wants to knock him down a peg because of the flash and the bad interviews and the draft process, and it was all about me. And, I mean, the list goes on, right? So everybody's so on one side or the other on this. There's no rational thoughts anymore with Shedeur Sanders, even on just a Cleveland Browns debut Friday night. And so I wanted to see how this is going to go. I wanted to see, is he going to struggle? Was I totally wrong when I watched him at Colorado and I thought, man, he had all these touchdown passes. He had all this. He turned Colorado into a winner with Travis Hunter. I mean, Colorado was the doormat, an absolute dog biscuit team. And was I totally wrong that Shedeur Sanders just won't be able to play at all? Everybody, remember in the draft process, all of us, all of the media and the NFL guys were telling you he dropped to the 5th round because he's bad. He dropped to the 5th round because he's unprofessional, and he's just not good enough. Because I had people tell me, if he was good enough, they would have taken him earlier. If he was good enough, they would have. So what did we see Friday night? 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushing yards, 19 yards on the ground. The ability to move, accuracy, throw, under pressure. I mean, the Browns stink. Everybody tells me they stink. So how did Shedeur Sanders in his debut Friday night do that? If he stinks, how did he do it? 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of the better outings for any rookie quarterback on the weekend. And so I'm not going to let him get away with it. The national media wanted to hit him. Colin was ready, couldn't do it. Doug was ready, couldn't do it. These guys want to smack him, and he turns out he played well, and it turns out the NFL teams that just let him fall down to the 5th round of the Cleveland Browns. We got Dylan Gabriel still sitting there in Cleveland, and everybody thinks he's actually going to be better. I mean, we don't need to kid ourselves anymore, do we? I mean, can we have some rational thought now that Shedeur Sanders was a good player? This is the difference with Shedeur. You may not like him because of the flash and the cockiness and all of that stuff, the money logo. You may not like him, but I think that's far from he's a bad player. And that's where nobody can hit it now of a balanced look at Shedeur. It's just a polarized look, so you wanted him to be so bad and you wanted the NFL to be right that this guy isn't worth anything. And it turns out Friday night he's good enough and he played well. And so now everyone's, well, he did what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's it's one game. Let's see. And I understand. I'm going to be in the spot where everybody is ready to hit me after this game against Philadelphia this week. So it's a lonely place. I've been there before. I've been on the Kirk Cousins bandwagon. That's a lonely place, let me tell you. Shedeur Sanders is my next go-around here. I must just pick these guys that I follow and think are pretty good. I think they're good players, and then the people just love smacking them, right? And I got to stick up for Shedeur because I watched him at Colorado. I saw the touchdown numbers, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. I saw all of this stuff. But it seemed like the NFL was trying to tell everybody and put this narrative out there that this guy actually can't play. He's no good. Mel Kiper's a lunatic. Mel Kiper's absolutely terrible. And everybody wants their narrative to win. And it turns out Friday, it's just football. And I think I just want to tell you, he's a good football player. Everybody wants him to be a bad player because of his attitude, because of his flash. You want him to be Johnny Manziel. Yes, Johnny. Oh, Johnny football. Oh, Johnny, so cocky. And he was bad. Maybe that's not Shedeur. Maybe Shedeur is good. Will people come around to recognizing it? Will he get a shot with the Browns? Well, I'll tell you, Friday night, that was a debut. Look out. 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, looked good. And, boy, you didn't really want to say much today. People were a little apprehensive, but we were ready to kill him. I mean, he would have just been destroyed. It would have been an onslaught today, and I can't let him get away with it. And, really, the NFL, they were the ones that also told you this and fed everybody this and told everybody he's going to be bad, he's terrible, he's not no good, he's just going to flop out here. And it turns out, you wonder if the Saints should have drafted him, huh? Maybe the Saints should have taken him. As a matter of fact, Spencer Rattler's probably going to be their starter. I hope you have fun. So, Saints, big miss. You think of that, the Steelers, they wouldn't take him as a backup, wouldn't take him. And now you're going to just throw it out there and try and figure it out after Aaron Rodgers is done. So there's teams that decided to go down this road. They wanted to say he can't do it. Friday he did it, and now it's just going to be a microscope again. So everybody's ready to pounce. But here on a Monday, everybody was, well, yeah, he was okay. I mean, not bad. He was good. Let's just say he was good. And he might be a good player, but nobody wants to admit it. 605-720-1067. Let's see here. Listener text, no need for a Super Bowl this season. Let's give it to the Browns. There you go. That's the spirit. Listener text, the Browns have sucked for far too long, and the front office might have lucked into having a good quarterback. That is the interesting story. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting story. Where's he going to be with the Browns? I don't know. If I'm the Browns, I'm thinking, man, we might have a guy. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, he's watching that calling the plays Friday night. Kevin's probably thinking, is he really going to be this good? I mean, this is the Panthers. It's preseason, so let's not give him the Super Bowl yet. But he's got to be thinking one thing. Shedeur Sanders. And by the way, if the Browns were really smart from the marketing side of this, wouldn't you have wanted to have Shedeur Sanders? And did you see all the fans Friday night? I watched his play. So I watched it Friday night. And there's fans in Carolina. It was at Carolina. There was fans across the stadium with the jerseys on. I mean, just from a PR, just from a brand standpoint, don't the Browns want him to be good? or do they just want to just have the hat rack Joe Flacco? Let's win 6 games, and let's see if Kenny Pickett's a good backup. That's a better story. No, the listener text is right. That's the story. Shedeur Sanders is bringing the Browns to, relevance, and nobody really wants to even take that on. We just want to hammer him because the Browns stink, and, of course, they're the ones that take the stinky Shedeur Sanders. And that narrative's wrong. Let's see here. Listener text, being the best third-string QB does not mean he's good. Well, I'm just telling you, Friday night he was good. He started that game. He's good. And let's compare here. Let's compare. Cam Ward, number 1 pick. So much better than Shedeur, right? I mean, he's so much better. Cam Ward, 5 of 8 for 67 yards. 5 of 8, and 50 of those yards were to Calvin Ridley, on one drive on a big pass. So that's Cam Ward. And he's supposed to be so much better. Number 1 pick versus a 5th-round pick. What I'm telling you is the hatred for Shedeur and Dion clouds everybody's football judgment. We just want to kill him and want to hate him and want him to fail because he got in trouble with the speeding tickets. He puts everything in your face with the branding and the dollar sign and the marketing. I'm just telling you, he's a better football player than everybody was trying to tell you. That's the real story. He's comfortable. He could throw it accurately. He was under pressure, made some great plays Friday night. You don't just happen to get lucky on 138 yards and 2 nice touchdowns. That's not lucky stuff. Let's see. Cam Ward, 67 yards. Let's see here. Jalen Milroe, he got picked way ahead of him, right? Jalen Milroe out of Alabama, way ahead of him. 61 yards, right? Jackson Dart did have a nice night for the Giants. Jackson Dart, nice day, 154 yards and a touchdown. So I hate to tell you, my guy Bo Nix, he had a rougher day than Shedeur Sanders. Bo Nix, 31 yards on 6 of 11. Let's not go there yet. Let's not do that. Listener text, the same fans who are supposedly boycotting the NFL are the same ones barking about Shedeur. Is that right? I don't know about that. Let's see. One more. You tell me, Shedeur Sanders, can we admit that he could be a good player? Let's not let all of the other stuff distract us from what he did at Colorado and what he could do in the NFL. Let's not distract what he could be for the Browns. The Browns have nothing. They have nothing. And Shedeur Sanders made him have something at least on a Friday night and proved that he can make NFL plays. That's what he proved now. He'll have bad days. He'll have bad games. He had bad throws the other night. I like the way he talked after the game. I like the way he talked to his teammates during the game. There's some hidden microphone stuff there. I think it's a bigger story than people want to let on. We wanted to watch a failure because we love seeing failure. We love rooting against guys. And actually, he showed up Friday night and proved, wow, 5th-round pick. Boy, kind of missed that one, didn't we? Scott Petrak is there in Cleveland. He knows more than me. BrownZone.com. He's a Cleveland Browns beat writer live at practice today. Scott Petrak coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care. At participating stores.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic Park scratch ticket from the South Dakota Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $50,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today and welcome to Jurassic Park. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Attention, Rapid City. More big news from Gateway Autoplex. We are expanding our services with our brand new state-of-the-art auto repair shop located right behind our lot, 123 Omaha Street. Gateway Tire and Alignment. That's right, Rapid City. We're now your one-stop shop for everything auto-related. From routine maintenance to major repairs, our team of expert technicians has you covered. Plus, with our state-of-the-art equipment, you can trust that your vehicle is in the best possible hands. Visit Gateway Tire and Alignment and see why nobody beats a Gateway deal.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 86. Northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight, 58. Daytime highs approaching 83. Tomorrow, mainly clear. Dry Wednesday and Thursday under mainly sunny skies with highs in the mid-90s. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 85 degrees.
It's the Spin and Sail Cruise giveaway, only at Cadillac Jackson Deadwood. Earn just 25 points to qualify. Then keep playing to rack up even more entries. Fridays and Saturdays, we're drawing winners from 8 to 11:30 p.m. for $300 prize packages, with a $1,000 drawing at midnight. Then on Saturday, August 30th, 10 lucky winners will draw for grand prizes, and 4 will win a cruise and a seat in the $1 million Wheel of Fortune Spin and Win slot tournament at sea. Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
There's summer, and then there's Murphy's in the summer. Nothing beats it. The food, the drinks, the atmosphere. Whether you're soaking up sunshine on the patio or hanging inside with friends, Murphy's brings the good vibes all season long. Amazing food, cold beers, summer cocktails, live music on the patio, a crew that treats you right, and yes, even a late night menu every Friday and Saturday night. When you're thinking summer in Rapid City, there's only one move, Murphy's. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com. Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, welcome back in. Just getting going on a Monday night. Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state on Fox Sports Radio. I started my show with Shedeur Sanders. I'm out there on the limb, man. It's like the Kirk Cousins limb of years ago. I'm out there on the limb. It's a little flimsy. I don't want too many people out there with me. It'll bust off at any time. That's the Shedeur Sanders limb. I'm out there on the limb with him. Are you going to join me? Scott Petrak is a Cleveland Browns writer. I appreciate his time. We've got him here before he's got to run, so let's get it in. Find his work at brownszone.com. That's where you find him if you haven't hit that. brownszone.com. Scott Petrak is on the Nate Brown Show on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Scott, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Sure thing. I'm good.
Appreciate your time. You tell me. You're covering the team. What did Shedeur prove Friday night? Did he prove anything?
Yeah, I think he proved some things. I don't think he proved that he's ready to be the week one starter and win the quarterback competition. But I think he proved that no moment's too big, which we probably knew, given how much success he had at Colorado, given his upbringing, who his father is. We saw that he could make accurate throws, which, again, we saw at Colorado, but this is a new level. It's different. He made 2 really good touchdown throws and other throws that helped set up touchdowns. I thought he threw it well most of the night. And then operationally, I think some people tend to overlook this. He didn't call plays in the huddle at Colorado. Everything was quick. They were at the line of scrimmage. And the Kevin Stefanski's system is a lot more complex. And he handled it well. They had minimal pre-snap penalties. He got in and out of the huddle. And he even avoided a couple of sacks, which he's not the best athlete in the world, but I think he showed some elusiveness.
Do you think NFL teams missed on him? Does that prove that in the draft?
I mean, I don't know. That might be a little presumptive. It's one preseason game. We've seen other players, other quarterbacks have good preseason games, and that doesn't amount to much in their careers. But I personally, having watched him in Colorado and watched him all off season and in training camp and then Friday night in Carolina, I think he's got a lot of potential. I've always thought he's better than a fifth-round draft pick. So I do think teams missed on him. I just don't know if Friday night proves that.
Scott Petrak on BrownsZone.com. Writer, covers the Browns. Find him on X at Scott Petrak. He's live in Cleveland. So I want to get your read on what the team thinks of him. Can you tell that at all? I've seen some of this hidden microphone stuff, and he's talking to Myles Garrett. What do you think the team thinks of him?
Yeah, I think they like him. I think he's a likable guy. Obviously, he's incredibly popular, has a huge name. So I think that carries some, I don't know if credibility is the right word, but maybe some cachet with guys in the locker room. So you're Deion's kid, you've been on TV forever, all that stuff. I think that carries over. And then when you prove that you can play, and again, I don't think it was just that preseason game, you show that, I think guys gravitate toward a person and a player like Shedeur. So I think it's genuine when he talks to Myles Garrett on the sideline or David Njoku or Joe Flacco.
Scott Petrak on tonight. Find his work, BrownZone.com. So do you think that the depth chart just came out, Scott? I saw that. It's the same. I don't know if people read into that. So he's still fourth. Is he gonna be able to move up that chart? What's that all about?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they don't spend a whole lot of time on that depth chart. They don't give it a lot of credence. They have to do one, and they do it, and it doesn't change very often. So I wouldn't take too much into that. But he's been fourth since he arrived. You had Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, and then Dylan Gabriel was drafted 2 rounds and 50 picks ahead of Shedeur Sanders. So he was always ahead of Sanders. And I don't know if that's changed. Gabriel's a little limited with the tight hamstring, so he did something in practice today. They all did team drills. Gabriel went ahead of Sanders some. Sanders went ahead of Gabriel some. And for a long time, it was all Gabriel first. So maybe there's a little movement there. I think that Sanders should get every opportunity to be the top rookie, which probably puts you number 3rd on the depth chart when the season starts, because he's been better than Dylan Gabriel. And I just think Friday was another example of that. Gabriel struggled. They're both rookies. I think Sanders should at least get a fair chance to win that top rookie spot, and he really hasn't to this point because he hasn't gotten the same quality reps that Gabriel has.
How hungry are Browns fans for Shedeur Sanders to be good?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think he's a little bit polarizing, that there's some Browns fans that didn't want him in the draft. I think in the 5th round, most fans were all right with that because it's a 5th-round pick, but certainly didn't want him high, that we had talked about, early in the draft process. And then there's huge Shedeur fans, like giant fans. So I think it goes a little both ways. Joe Flacco's beloved here, so I think most people are fine with Joe Flacco starting week 1. But Browns fans in general are starved for a successful quarterback. So if Shedeur can be that guy, then everybody would be on board with that.
Last one, I'll let you run. Scott Petrak on tonight, BrownZone.com here on the Nate Brown Show. 4 quarterbacks are there now. Are they going to be able to do that?
I think they are. The only reason they wouldn't is if they trust one of the rookies to be the number 2. And I just don't know if either one of them is ready to do that. They didn't plan to play Shedeur Sanders early in the season, if at all. I think they had higher hopes for Dylan Gabriel, but he has not shown that he's ready yet. So in that case, you have to keep, at least in my opinion, Kenny Pickett to be the backup. Joe Flacco's 40 years old. Who knows if he makes it through the opener? Stuff happens to every quarterback. You got to have a backup that can step in and play, and I don't think it should be one of those rookies. But yet, I don't think they're going to trade or cut either of the rookies. So that means you got to keep 4.
Wow. Scott Petrak on tonight from Cleveland, covers the Browns. Here it is, brownzone.com. Scott, thanks for hopping in, man. I appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
Thanks a lot. Scott Petrak on tonight, Cleveland Browns writer, brownzone.com, live from Cleveland. Just got done with practice earlier today and covered the Browns and Shedeur Sanders Friday night in Carolina. Scott Petrak getting us started tonight. He's on X at Scott Petrak. Good insight there. Good insight there. Okay. I just get a couple of things here. The Cleveland Browns, they have 4 quarterbacks. And he just said he thinks they might keep 4 quarterbacks. They might keep 4 quarterbacks. That's a spot on the 53-man roster. People are going, what are the Browns doing? And this is another thing. It's like my whole point of the Shedeur Sanders, why I've been a Shedeur Sanders supporter. I watched him in Colorado. I saw the touchdowns. I saw the stats. I don't know what else people wanted to see. Colorado Buffalo's football was bad, and Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter made it legit. I mean, that just didn't, people didn't lay down for them. That made them legit. They went from 1 win to bowl games. And so Shedeur Sanders, it was a player, and he's tough. People don't point out, you got to be tough, too. And he's really tough with the CU line, which was terrible. So he's tough. He's a gamer, high football IQ. Seems like teammates can rally around him a little bit. He's interacting there. So I think the teams missed Shedeur Sanders, and even the Browns did, because they just didn't want to do it. Well, bad interviews, cocky, thought he was the man. I hope he's learned from that, because he's not perfect. I will say that. There's times where I look at it and I go, Shedeur, let's just step it off a little bit. Let's just relax a little bit. Can we have some humility? Just a little bit. I think that would go a long way. But when did we ever stop thinking people are good if they're cocky? Like, we're like, oh, he's cocky, but he's good. If he's good, it's okay. I mean, you think Travis Kelce, he's a bad player because he's cocky? I mean, Travis Kelce is as cocky as they get. Is he a bad player? So we let our look on Shedeur and the personality and the stuff cloud our judgment of how good he is. And so I think he's good enough. I think the Browns were trying to tell themselves, let's go Dillon Gabriel instead. Dillon Gabriel's not going to be an NFL quarterback. You want to book that here today? You guys want to book that today? Bookmark it, lock it, archive it. Matt Kearney, mark the time. Dillon Gabriel's not going to be a quarterback. I mean, come on. We keep on trying to make stuff up. Is this, is that. Dillon Gabriel's 5'10". I mean, come on. So we got to get a little realistic here a little bit. Let's see. Listener text coming in. Nate, the Dan Patrick Show took a week off. Do you think if Shedeur would have had a bad game, Dan and the boys would have had a show? Probably not, but I know what you're saying. Probably not. They're out before real football kicks in, all right? They're out before that. Listener text coming in. Nate, what about Jarrett Stidham in Denver? He had a better game. Well, what do you mean? He had a better game than my guy Bo Nix? Yeah, I know. Stidham should have a better game. He's been around for quite some time. This was Shedeur's first game. The ultimate failure's coming. Yeah, we wanted him to fail, and he didn't. So now we got an interesting scenario playing out here. What are the Browns going to do? They're going to keep 4 QBs? Scott Petrak just said maybe. That seems wild to me. Just wild. Let's see here. This is a Matt Kearney producer question. Matt Kearney, he didn't want me to talk about Shedeur today. Can you believe it? He didn't even want to come into the office today. But he didn't want me to talk, so now we've started the first 25 minutes of the show with it. Matt Kearney says, who's better, Shedeur Sanders or Russell Wilson? Now that's interesting to ponder. I'll go with Russell Wilson for now. I'm staying on the Russ train for now. Kurtiss Riggs is coming up next on the Nate Brown Show as we get started tonight. I do have a question of the day, which we're going to get to a lot of stuff here tonight, okay? A lot of good stuff coming out. There's college conferences that are changing the way people view their games, so we're going to get to that. A major sport gets a new streaming deal. You got to love streaming. A major sport, new streaming deal. We'll get to that first. Into the South Dakota football side with Kurtiss Riggs. A lot to discuss with him and a big benefit this weekend, and Kurtiss has some close ties to it. We'll talk South Dakota football. Kurtiss Riggs coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
And then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. Monday edition of the program's just getting started tonight across South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here every afternoon drive home. Appreciate it. The Nate Brown Show is on. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, not only on Fox Sports Radio, we appreciate our affiliates, but we're also on X right now. Stream us at Nate Brown Show. So if you can watch the show, that's easy to do on your phone. Welcome in across the state at Nate Brown Show on X. Jason Andera is coming up tonight. We'll talk some high school football. Everybody's practicing now. All the big schools, the small schools, everybody's back at it. High school football season games are next week. Wow, Jason Andera is coming up. James Merilatt's in tonight from Denver. We'll talk Broncos, and Sean Payton said we need to work on some things. Well, it looked like this is preseason. I'm fine. James Merilatt's coming up from Denver Sports. Let's go South Dakota football and more. Kurtiss Riggs is on tonight. Sanford Sports Football Academy. He's running that show. Riggs Football. Coach, good to get you on. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. Are you a Broncos fan? Is that what I'm hearing?
I am a Broncos fan. I am. That's something that I claim and proud. Is that a bad deal? Or
Yeah. I mean, you must have lost a bet as a small child, or what happened there? Is there trauma somewhere in there? I'd love to hear the background of that story.
What an organization, Pat Bolin and John Elway and my organization. Now, Kurtiss, you got to tell me, if we're talking teams, who should I be a fan of?
Well, the reason I would show such disgust of the Broncos, I'm a Raiders fan, so instantly, I've got to give some backlash to the Broncos fan.
Yes, I believe you on that. By the way, Pete Carroll and the Raiders. What do you say about Pete taking over?
Fantastic. Yeah, I think they've got to show a coach that's in charge of the entire organization and run it like an organization. I think it's been lacking, and I think, when we build a team, we've got to have a veteran quarterback. We got to look at an offensive line. We got to look at how can we make games go a little faster, not rely on one side of the ball being out on the field the entire game. Let's be able to run the ball. And you see him already trying to build those foundations, and he knows he's not going to be coaching, for a lot of years. So let's get this to where it's able to hand over to someone else.
Okay, I got you on that. I wanted your read on this. Little did I know, your Raiders against the Broncos. We'll still have you on the show a lot, okay? Sanford Sports Football Academy's Kurtiss Riggs on tonight. One quarterback question, because I started my show with it. So I went to a CU game last year, went to CU and the Broncos, so imagine that. And I've been following Shedeur Sanders, and I'm kind of a fan. I don't like the cockiness, the real flashiness, and some of the arrogance. I think he's a good player, and I watched him bring CU back from nothing. Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback, he played well Friday night. It's just preseason. What would you take away from it?
Yeah, I wouldn't take much away. I mean, I would try not to build up too much excitement from it. I would just say it's a positive step. If we're making the roster, that's the biggest thing, because the first preseason games, they're going against the most vanilla schemes and going against the 2s, 3s, and 4s a lot of times. So he's going to be able to establish some sense of being comfortable, but that would change quickly, and that's where he struggled in the college game, I thought, with holding the ball too long, not being able to anticipate throws, rather, throw guys open rather than throw when they're wide open. But, if you look at it from a positive, it was that first sense of, let me play in an NFL game and have some success. So it was good for him, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns for Sanders. Talking to Kurtiss Riggs, he's coached some quarterbacks over the years. Okay, before we get to some South Dakota football stuff, as the football season is really underway, I want to get to this golf tournament, this online auction, the 8th annual Jake Summer Classic. It's coming up Saturday, Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, just outside of Sioux Falls, and you have some close ties to this. Tell me the story and what your connection is and why people want to hopefully help with this.
Well, I didn't even know we were going to be a part of it, honestly, Nate. One of my former players nominated my daughter, who she battles a neurological disorder called CRPS, which it's complex regional pain syndrome. It's her body saying fight or flight when there's nothing wrong, and it's been a grueling process, to say the least. And a lot of hospitals, a lot of surgeries, just a long, ongoing fight for her. And we got a call saying, hey, your daughter's been nominated and selected as one of the 3 recipients from this fundraiser that we do. And then I started to look at it, and Mark Jacobson, the founder, just told me, he's like, my family and I, we found, we had connections of people that were in need, like Afton. She's at an experimental facility in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and, we make a payment every week, and there's zero help from insurance on this because it's experimental. And they wanted to help for situations like this. You look at the other recipients, and they're battling some really tough situations, and the families are in need, and there's not many options or places to turn to. So it was great to find that out. Very appreciative. And how they make all their money is the silent auction and the sponsorships. The golf spots fill up right away. So they make the silent auction live, and it's when you go to Jake's Summer Classic online, you get steered into the silent auction, and you can take a look. And obviously, close connections for me to Kalen. Kalen right away put up 2 tickets to any home game, so you get to choose whatever home game you want to go to at Alabama. And then he gives a personal tour of the facilities the day before. So Coach DeBoer will give you a tour of all the Alabama facilities. You get to go down on the field before the game, and then you get to enjoy the game. That's Tennessee, if you want the Josh Heupel connection, any game you want. 2 tickets to a home game.
Wow.
And then, there's great, we had people that, Ross Reitzma, who, Northwest Mutual, he did a sponsorship and gave 2 great seats to a Vikings game. We had tickets to a Florida State game, tickets to the SDSU, NDSU game, a lot of golf packages. We had some getaways to Napa Valley for a private resort and the wine tasting. And there's just some really, really cool things that you would really never, ever look at getting unless you looked at something like this.
I think this is perfect. When you're talking sports fans, too, you got all this good stuff, and then you got, hey, maybe your wife wants to do the Napa Valley, whatever. You got to check it out. Google Jake's Summer Classic. They have the website, but you'll be able to find that. It's this Saturday, so the golf scramble's filled, but the big part is to help out these kids. That's what it's about. It's a kids benefit, and Kurtiss Riggs, Coach Riggs, is on tonight. His daughter, one of the beneficiaries. It's Jake's Summer Classic. So when you think about it, Coach, talk about kind of one of those things. Life coming at you, man. You coach football and all the adversity and all this and that. How tough has it been? You talk about your daughter's struggles. How have you worked through this?
You just try to do anything you can. We've traveled a lot of hospitals. So it's been a tough go.
I believe that, and I can tell the emotion in your voice. I don't think people can quite imagine it. I have 2 daughters. People have kids. It's a tough one. By the way, this is something that you can do anywhere. So if you're listening, Sioux Falls and beyond, Rapid City and beyond. So I'm talking both sides of the state. If you go to Jake's Summer Classic, they can bid in that online auction and raise money for these 3 kids. And I saw that right, 3 kids, right? And this has managed to raise some great money. How did this all start, Coach? How did this start? This is the 8th year of this.
Yeah, Mark Jacobson. He's the guy. Him and his family. His wife, Lindsay, essentially they just decided, how can we help? And they put it together. They're called the Jakes, so that's how they came up with the name Jake's Summer Classic. And they've gotten it to where it's had to be a 2-day golf tournament. They compile some amazing prizes and gifts. There's pin prizes, there's giveaways, and they get sponsors for all the holes. It's incredible, and their connections are so tight. I saw there's a big package of Washington State gear, obviously with the connection of the former coaches. And a lot of businesses, a lot of healthcare, a lot of. Shields gave a gift card for $250. I mean, there was a lot of contributions.
Kurtiss Riggs on tonight. It is Jake's Summer Classic. That's the big benefit. It's Saturday. You can bid in this online auction. Really would be supporting some kids that really need some help and some families. I think it's a great thing, and unbelievable prizes for sports fans in between. Coach, I want to get your read on, hey, it's high school football time. The guys are back at practice now. It's a fun time of year. Give me the read on Sioux Falls AAA. We don't have to go team by team. How's AAA football look in Sioux Falls in 2025, do you believe?
Well, it looks good. It looks good, but it looks difficult to predict. I've been out to all the schools in Sioux Falls. I go to Washington tomorrow night to speak to the team, but I've been to Jefferson, Roosevelt, Lincoln, I mean all of them. And the one thing I'll say that one team has that other teams do not have is Lincoln's got a Brody Schaefer, and there's no one else even close to Brody Schaefer talent-wise with what he can do at that position, being such an instrumental position. Now, in the same regard, I don't know if anyone has an offensive line like what Brandon Valley has. I mean, Jefferson maybe could come close. They are very, very big and physical. They'll be interesting, especially with the new offense that Coach Struck's putting in. But you look at even Harrisburg and O'Gorman.
Yeah.
They feel like they have very good squads that they're not as flashy and don't have that big star playmaker, but they feel really good about where they sit right now.
You think there is some parity amongst AAA out east?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't think there will be anyone that goes undefeated. Even Lincoln, they lost all 11 starters on defense. So, I mean, but to be able to go in and outscore them is going to be a challenge because they are loaded offensively. They have all their skilled guys back. They have a tight end that is going to step into the scene, and he is going to be really, really good. He's going to really open some eyes for the collegiate level. He's a kid that's just really grown and developed, and he's going to flourish from the fear of those skilled receivers that Lincoln has on the outside.
High school football practice starting today for the big schools. A lot of programs getting going. A couple of weeks away from the big school opening week. Sanford Sports Football Academy is the director, Kurtiss Riggs, on tonight. And the big thing is the Jake's Summer Classic. Please help out. It'd be a great thing if you can bid in this auction. His daughter is part of the beneficiary of this program, and it's a big opportunity to help some kids in need. Jake's Summer Classic, and it's Saturday, the golf tournament, the online auction. Check it out, Jake's Summer Classic. Coach, best of luck to you. You and your family. We'll talk to you again soon. I appreciate you coming on.
Nate, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Kurtiss Riggs on tonight. Sanford Sports Football Academy and the benefit auction. His daughter going through some major health struggles. A couple other kids I saw as beneficiaries on that. If you can help out, if you have the capability to do that, there's some great prizes there. Some Alabama football, some Vikings football. Jake's Summer Classic. Google it. You find it easily. You can bid in the auction for this week. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show. Well, this is the way of the world now, is pay-per-view, right? Like hardly anything's free, except for the Nate Brown Show. We are just absolutely accessible every which way. Free 99. However, there's a college decision that's being made. They're going to go pay-per-view now on their games. More and more schools are doing this. I wonder if this level of play, if this is going to work. Let me discuss next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Mom, can we please go to a Tiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel. Together and celebrate.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with 0 regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back into Your Sports, Your Show, The Nate Brown Show Live, Monday edition, just getting the week started. Thanks for being here. Fox Sports Radio, your home for South Dakota Sports Talk Show. The Nate Brown Show with James Merilatt coming up. He's from denversports.com. What is the real reaction from Sean Payton in the Bo Nix deal against the 49ers the other night? The number one offense, a little shaky. James Merilatt's coming up, denversports.com. We'll go to Jason Andera tonight, high school sports analyst. Jandy's covered a lot of high school sports, and we're back at it now with soccer starting this week, game week. And then you got high school football practices all underway now. He does a coaches poll. Who is the best team in each class? He gets about, over 30% of coaches who respond, honestly, but at least that gives you a little perspective. We'll take a look at the coaches poll. Jason Andera is coming up. I saw this come across, and I've been wanting to discuss this for a while. So here's the way of the world. We all like watching things online now. I mean, I understand. That's what we do. Meaning we watch stuff on our, we watch reels. I think we're going to find the mystery of life on the next reel that you watch. But anyway, so we watch reels. We watch social media. We watch Twitter. We watch games online. I had a guy who was getting a soda in front of me the other day. He was watching a video out loud. I mean, just blaring online. So we just watch stuff on our phones constantly. But I don't know if this is going to work. So I saw this come out, and I wanted to put it as a question of the day. You give me a little perspective tonight. So I'm seeing more and more Division II conferences putting their games that are online behind pay-per-view now. So I saw this happen to a couple of D2 conferences, middle part of the country. And then I saw the big one just a couple of weeks ago was the RMAC. So you're talking Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. There's some good schools in there. Of course, West River Schools, Black Hill State, South Dakota Mines. You got Shadron State. You got Colorado Mines, Colorado State Pueblo. I mean, there's some good programs in here. What the RMAC announced was they're going to go pay-per-view for all of their athletic events. So in the years past, I mean, I worked at an RMAC school. There was free access. You could watch the online stream. It was great. Alumni across the country. I'd go out and visit people in Houston, Phoenix, and they'd say, man, it's great. I get to watch the games. It's outstanding. If you go pay-per-view, my belief is you're going to lose a ton of connections. I think you're going to lose a ton of connections. And so the Northern Sun doesn't do this, at least regular season-wise, right? But they do some championship events, like postseason stuff. That's maybe one thing, but you go full pay-per-view. This is Division II, and what I'm telling you is you're just going to get the real diehards. So I think you're going to lose connection with alumni around the country that you're trying to get support from, these universities are. You're going to lose connection with students. Let's say your team goes on the road, and they'll pull it up on their phone. Hey, how's this team doing? They aren't going to pay money. Well, it's discounted for, alumni and stuff like that. It's still going to be pay-per-view. So I think the Division II model, you can't get into the business of sports. It's easy for me to say. I was at a Division II school, so let me put myself in the athletic director's position. There is a ton of business that you have to follow. People think it's just for kicks. Oh, it's Division II. It's just for fun. They wear T-shirts. Let's just have fun. No, it's serious still. It's business still. But you got to be careful. You don't want to get into the pay-per-view. Now we're trying to be like, I don't know what, big boy, like Peacock NFL? That's. I don't think people are going to buy athletic passes. The diehards will. There's many people that maybe want to watch some Division II football that won't. Maybe I should get my guy Matt on. He's a Division II guy from Sioux Falls. Not Kearney, the other Matt. I'll see if I can get him on, maybe talk about this, because he covers D2 football. This would be an interesting discussion. I don't think you're going to get a bunch of people to pay for like the RMAC network, for example. And then on top of that, if you're going to pay, now you better have each school, 15 schools, you better have a good stream. Because, well, some of the streams were good, let's just say that. Some are not so good. How serious do they take it? Well, the RMAC's going to tell you got to do this and this. Okay. But, again, the single game passes, the season passes and stuff, I don't think you're going to get people to do that. But that's my question of the day. So you tell me. We have a lot of D2 sports in South Dakota. Do you think that people will do the pay-per-view? Is this the right call? I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to get revenue. They're going to split that with the members, institutions. But that in the big picture is going to be minuscule. I don't know how much money they're going to make off of a stream. It's going to be minuscule. I have a feeling whoever the streamer is like, sold them a bill of goods here. Hey, we'll do the games. There's going to be a fee. We'll take this much. We'll give you this much. I'm not with that. I understand the business of college sports. It's tight. Budgets are tight. The pay-per-view for D2 games is not going to feed the bulldog. It's going to disconnect alumni and fans, I think. Division II conferences more and more now requiring pay-per-view to watch their games this season. Is this the right call in today's world? Everything costs money. You tell me. 605-720-1067. Your thoughts on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline or the Barron's Wilson text line, how you become a part of this discussion of the question of the day. We got votes coming in. D2 conferences now requiring pay-per-view. There's a lot of them now. The RMAC, the latest. But there's more. It's not just them. I think everybody then does it. Like one of them does it, two of them does it. They're like, well, I guess we'll do it too. The Northern Sun not so far behind. So keep an eye on that. Would you do that pay-per-view to watch the D2 games this season? It's the right call. They're trying to get revenue, but it's got to be small. That's got to be peanuts. 87% of you voting say, no, it's not a good call. They will lose fans. 13% of you say, yes, it's the way of the world. They could use the revenue. Listener text, RMAC's decision to place all sports behind the paywall will last only a couple of years. It will cost more in upkeep and maintenance than the revenue. Well, it just depends. I mean, these companies that they sign on to do this with, that's where the revenue comes. It's like, hey, we got a deal. We'll stream the games. We'll do it for the RMAC schools. We got the software. We got all that. We're good to go. We get a piece of the revenue. We'll give a portion to the members, institutions. It's just, I think it's going to disconnect fans, and it's a bigger thing than you think. Fans of universities, those are usually alumni, and you have to keep them engaged. You have to keep them engaged. Let's see. Listener text, have to do what the Colorado schools say, is what he said. They have to do what the Colorado schools say. Listener text, I won't pay for pay-per-view. People are not going to pay. Most Division II games don't interest me. I won't pay. Let's see. RMAC decision. Okay. No to pay-per-view. More listener text coming in. You send them to me, 605-720-1067 on the Barron's-Wilson text line. Division II conferences like the RMAC now announcing pay-per-view for their games this season. Is this the right call? Heavy no. They will lose some fans. And that's where it's like, how do they, you got 87% on my show. I mean, it's not scientific. I understand. But I have a great audience. You guys have common sense. How do you get a poll? It's 87% no, and then a whole conference decides, let's do this. I mean, doesn't that just like, huh? All right. There is a major sport. This is a major sport. It's not my sport, but it's a major sport that instead of going like pay-per-view all the time, they're now going to go accessible on one streaming platform. What do you think of this? We'll discuss next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City. Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work, and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on. Second hour. You've made it. Glad you're here on your drive home Monday edition of the program, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. The Nate Brown Show streaming right now on X at Nate Brown Show. You can follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Answer a question of the day. Interact with us. We check it throughout the show at Nate Brown Show. And then finally on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Watch us live there. Not as interactive, but it's still live and archived on the YouTube channel, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe. You've got us. Second hour looks good. It's driven by Summit Automotive Group. When it comes to pre-owned selection, well, that's the first start, and then experience car buying built around you. When it comes to pre-owned, start at summitautogrp.com. This hour, Jason Andera is coming up. We'll talk high school football and get a glimpse of who's going to be pretty good. Coaches he reaches out to, they send him their top 5, and he goes through it. So Jason Andera's high school football practice underway. He's in tonight from Sioux Falls, high school sports analyst. And down to Denver, James Merilatt, really good. Covers the Buffs, the Broncos, and everything in between. Denversports.com. I will ask James Merilatt about Bo Nix and the shaky start against the 49ers over the weekend. All right, 605-720-1067 is our number. That's the Pizza Ranch studio hotline for you, 605-720-1067. If you're just joining us, you can hit us on the text line as well. Either way, call or text. The Barons-Wilson text line is open, 605-720-1067. Okay, I just was talking D2 sports and how they're going to, a lot of these conferences, Division II schools are going to do pay-per-view now. Well, here's what's interesting. Here's something that came out today. It's a pretty big one. UFC. That's been heavy pay-per-view. Like for the biggest cards, that's pay-per-view. So UFC's been heavy pay-per-view, and then you've watched some of the other stuff, it's on ESPN and stuff. UFC's decided to sign a deal with Paramount Plus, an exclusive with Paramount Plus, 7-year deal with the streamer. This is CBS's streamer, right? So it's the 80th streaming app that you have. I have Paramount Plus. I have it. I don't know how I got it, but I have it. Paramount Plus, UFC is going to put all their fights on there. Exclusive deal, 7-year deal, $7 billion. About $1 billion a year. $1 billion a year for UFC exclusive on Paramount Plus. Now, this is big because I've had questions asked on this program, like, are some sports going to do this? Some of the niche sports? Are they going to go like exclusive deals like MLS did their Apple TV thing? How's that worked out for them? UFC is going to go exclusive on Paramount Plus. Are UFC fans so passionate that if they don't have Paramount Plus, they're going to get Paramount Plus? Well, I would think so. I mean, UFC fans, here's where that's at. Here's where that's at. I don't see UFC as the NBA, even MLB. Like, I don't see them. I see UFC as they have a really passionate fan base. And so if they're going to go to Paramount Plus and you got to get that app, you're going to get it. And then I think they think, well, now a lot of people that don't have to do pay-per-view, they might have Paramount Plus for whatever, like watching Yellowstone or whatever whatever you get it for. That's probably why I got it with my wife. We had to get Yellowstone or whatever's on there. So then they'll have Paramount Plus, and now they'll watch UFC. That's, I think, what Dana White's probably banking on here. So nonetheless, $1 billion a year, he'll take that as well. But let me ask you, I want a perspective of the Nate Brown Show fans. You guys are sports fans. You're business owners. You're construction workers. You're hard workers. Are you UFC fans? Are you UFC fans? I've never asked that on the show. I don't talk hardly any UFC because I'm not a UFC guy. I don't do pay-per-view. I don't do I don't watch it hardly at all when it pops up. The MMA stuff, really respected. You got to be absolutely skilled, tough, the whole thing, all the work all the fitness, all the training. It's unbelievable. So it's a really grueling sport in more ways than one. So I respect it. I don't watch it. I'm not a UFC guy, so on the Paramount Plus, it won't capture me, but they're banking. Is it going to capture more fans that maybe didn't do, kind of the general fan, like, oh, I'll check this out. Like some of the young guys are like, yeah, I got Paramount Plus. Oh, UFC's on here? Yeah, I'm going to watch this now. UFC going to Paramount Plus, exclusive deal for the streamer. Will you be watching it? Question of the day on the Nate Brown Show, second hour of the program, 605-720-1067. Just curious, UFC, is it in your wheelhouse? Will it be on your Paramount Plus streaming? Here's some listener reactions. Troy checks in. My son and I love watching UFC. I love this. Okay. That's interesting. 605-720-1067. The poll on the Nate Brown Show, UFC's going to Paramount Plus, exclusive deal today. So all the fights are going to be on Paramount Plus. Will you be watching? 81% of you say no. 81% of you no, I don't watch. 19% of you say yes, I'm in now. Big UFC fan. Let's go to the phones. Thanks for calling. You're live and you go ahead. I lost him. All right. Sorry about that. Check in if you can. Let's see here. By the way, should I say I won't watch it for sure? I got to tell you a story. My younger daughter wants to watch UFC. I don't want to tell you any more than that. I don't know. She's the most loving kid, the most empathetic kid, and UFC will pop up. I'll be watching it for 5 minutes. She walks into the room. She's like, I turn it because I'm like, well, the guy's getting beat the crap out of. She's like, hey, turn it back. What does that tell you? I better keep my head on a swivel. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
I am definitely interested in this.
You are?
I actually think UFC was a lot stronger, like maybe 10 years ago or so. I think it's watered down just a little bit. But if you think about it, what are pay-per-views now? $70, something like that? Yeah. And what's Paramount Plus a month? $20? So, you can get roughly, 2-3, or you can get 2-3 months of Paramount Plus for one pay-per-view.
Okay.
And honestly, if you told me that I'd have to subscribe to Paramount Plus to watch, like, you could get every NBA game, I wouldn't do it. Okay. NBA to me is nothing. And baseball, it's good. It's getting better now with the new rules. But I personally think UFC is a better draw for watching than those sports are, except for, playoffs.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks for getting in. So I'm telling you, dude, there's guys that are passionate about this. I understand there's there's a section that's passionate. Have you seen these events? The crowds? The crowds are unbelievable. So Dana White and the crew, they got a business model that's really, really good. That guy, their business model has been really good. You talk about some sports that, well, this one's declined or that one's declined. UFC's business model has been really solid. Really solid. And now they get a new deal at Paramount Plus. 79% of you on my poll say you're not going to watch it. 21% of you say, yes, you're in on Paramount Plus. By the way, all right, I got to get moving, but I got another thing about streaming tonight. I got another thing about streaming with Fox. Fox just announced something today with ESPN. What? ESPN and Fox? They're coming together. So I'm going to get into that. Hang on. Let's go to Denver. James Merilatt's our next guest. He's with DenverSports.com. Really good guest. James Merilatt, what does he think of the Bo Nix weekend preseason opener? James Merilatt next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Watiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WatikiWaterpark.com.
Hey, golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a slight chance for storms. Lows around 58, winds out of the northwest 8 to 15 miles per hour. High of 83 tomorrow. Lows dip down to about 63 tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mainly sunny skies and dry Wednesday and Thursday, low 90s. Wednesday, mid 90s by Thursday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 82 degrees.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source, your Black Hills partner in building every step of the way.
There's summer, and then there's Murphy's in the summer. Nothing beats it. The food, the drinks, the atmosphere. Whether you're soaking up sunshine on the patio or hanging inside with friends, Murphy's brings the good vibes all season long. Amazing food, cold beers, summer cocktails, live music on the patio, a crew that treats you right, and yes, even a late-night menu every Friday and Saturday night. When you're thinking summer in Rapid City, there's only one move, Murphy's. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com. Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Hey, we're working on some big guests this week at Athletic University. Let's see where we're at on that. Voice of the Minnesota Vikings, Paul Allen. Hang on, we'll get him. So Good stuff. It's football season. We know that. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Let's go to Denver. James Merilatt's in. DenverSports.com. That's the site. You want everything Denver sports, that's the place, okay? DenverSports.com, part of 104.3 The Fan. James, welcome in. How are you?
I'm great, Nate. Appreciate you having me on. Enjoy a little Spin Doctors there coming back. Haven't heard that song in a while, so good stuff.
I like it. Serving it up, and I want to know from you what the reaction is of one little preseason story of Bo Nix throwing for 31 yards. What's the reaction in Denver?
Well, I think you've got two camps. There's the camp of, hey, they didn't look very good when they had their starters in playing against the Niners' second team, and that's not a good thing, and that's something to be concerned about. Not necessarily push the panic button, but hey, they got to play better than that. They got to fix that. They got to address it. I think that's the realistic camp. That's where I'm at. And then you got the apologists who just say, hey, don't worry about anything, it'll be fine, and just kind of want to do the ostrich trick and put their head in the sand. My argument today to people who said things like, oh, it's actually a good thing that they had some things that they struggled with that'll give them something to work on. I'm like, okay, fine. If that's true, that means had they played great, had Bo Nix gone 11 for 11 and thrown 2 touchdowns, you'd have come in today and said, oh, that's bad. Now they don't have anything to work on, which of course they wouldn't have. So there's certainly a contingency here in Denver that Sean Payton can do no wrong, Bo Nix can do no wrong, and hear no evil, see no evil. I don't think that's quite the case. I think there were plenty of things to look at on Saturday night and go, uh-oh, that's just not good enough, and it's got to be better.
Okay, so 60 quarterback rating. I mean, it wasn't good, right? I mean, it's fair to say that Bo Nix, 6 of 11, 31 yards, he didn't get a lot of chances, I understand, but that's just not good. And then you look at some of these rookies who played, and they looked a little better. Maybe it's just one game, but I want to know what jumped out to you about Bo Nix. Like, was it just knocking some rust off, maybe a bad decision here or there? Did anything alarm you with Bo Nix specifically?
Well, what alarmed me is he looked on Saturday night in Santa Clara like the quarterback I thought they drafted. I wasn't huge on the pick. I thought he was a guy that was kind of a check-down Charlie, just dink and dunk at Oregon, threw a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage in college, and I didn't think he was as athletic as he showed last year when he was honestly probably the Broncos' best rushing threat when he was running the ball. So last night or Saturday night looked like what I was worried about. He basically only completed short passes. Anything he threw down the field, he underthrew a couple of them, didn't give Cortland a chance in the end zone. It was just check down, swing pass, swing pass, swing pass. And then on the safety, he just didn't look particularly athletic. That's a play where you got to be able to get out of the pocket, buy enough time, and throw it back to the line of scrimmage. You just can't take a safety there. So that was my worry of like, is this really the guy that he was all along? And maybe last year we just saw some sort of aberration. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it was alarming to me. It was, and I want to see him bounce back. Got to have a better game this week against Arizona. I think if you put 2 of those together, then it's time where you may not hit the panic button, but you sure as heck are finding out where it is.
So Sean Payton's been out there saying, Super Bowl contending team. I mean, he said, we talk about that. And so he's been out there. The Broncos got a ton of hype last week, and I think that's why it's now like, well, Saturday, the way they started wasn't good, and I know they win the game, but nobody cares about that. It was the way you started with the starters. So Sean Payton said, we got a lot of things, a lot of work to do. What do you think his mindset is?
I think he's a typical coach, right, where he's going to find all the faults, all the flaws, and harp on those and focus on those, which is good. That's you got to be a Type A personality to be a successful head coach in the NFL, and he certainly is that. I do think from a get their attention and work standpoint, having some things that didn't go well, that does give you easy talking points. But yeah, he wasn't pleased. I think it was a lot of stuff that was very controllable, of lining up in the wrong spot and running the wrong route and doing some of those kind of things that hey, that's bad on August 9th, but it's forgivable. You can't be doing that on September 7th. So I don't think he was particularly happy. I didn't like what he had to say last week. I mean, I love his confidence. As a lifelong Broncos fan, I love the fact that he thinks that about this team. I just don't see, Nate, the upside in saying it publicly.
Yeah.
There's downside to it, right? It kind of puts a bullseye on your back. It puts pressure on your young quarterback and all the rest of these things. I don't see the upside to it, but maybe it's just the way I'm wired. I don't like it when Coach Prime does it either. Maybe I'm just not a trash talker. I'd rather just let the scoreboard do the talking. So I didn't quite get it. I don't know why he had to do it. But I like his confidence. I'm glad he feels that way about his team. I'm just not quite there yet.
Was Jarrett Stidham noticeably better than Nix? I mean, the stats are there. Stidham played more. Was his play better?
Yeah, he was much better. He threw a deep ball for a touchdown to Sherfield. It was a great throw, hit him outside shoulder, right in stride. He had the longest run of the night, an 18-yard run on 3rd and long to move the chains. He was essentially flawless throwing the football. So, look, he was playing against even lower guys on the depth chart. So, you got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. But he was playing with guys lower on the depth chart, too. And he looked like the better quarterback on Saturday night. I'm not saying he is. But if you had never seen the Broncos play, if you didn't know all the hype, if you didn't know that he was the 12th overall pick in the draft in terms of Bo Nix, and all you'd seen was him play on Saturday, I think anybody who's being honest would have said, well, this guy's very underwhelming, and there doesn't seem to be anything special. Let's hope it was just a bad night, and he puts it together, as we go through the preseason. But it was pedestrian, and I would say Jarrett Stidham was slightly above pedestrian.
James Merilatt in tonight, denversports.com for the coverage. I want to get your read on Shedeur. I started my show with it. A lot of the media roots for him to fail. They just do because of the flash and the cockiness and all of that stuff we always hear. And I want him to have more humility, just a little bit, but that never works out. But I think it clouds the judgment of him being a good player. I think he's a good player. I've been dying on that hill that the NFL, they missed going to the 5th round. And then he plays 138 yards, 2 touchdowns Friday night. What did you think of Shedeur? I think answering the bell, but you tell me.
No, I thought he was terrific. When you're the 4th-string quarterback, you're not going to get many chances. I think if he'd have gone out and laid an egg, that might have been it for how many reps of any significance he's going to get in the preseason. He had to seize the moment, and he did. I'm with you on the humility thing. Like, do I like that he comes walking into the stadium with a entourage and dragging a boombox, playing his own music? I don't see what that does for you, but. Again, I'm a 51-year-old guy. That's just not necessarily my cup of tea, but it's all about whether or not you can play, and he's a heck of a player. I thought the fact that he fell as far as he did was ridiculous, and anybody who tries to tell you there wasn't collusion involved in that, I don't think lives in the real world. But at the end of the day, whether he's drafted in the 2nd round, the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, he got to go out and play, and he had his chance, and I thought he was great. I really did. Now he's got to back it up because I can't imagine the Browns don't continue to give him opportunities. That fan base will lose their mind. They've been dying for a quarterback for so long. He plays so well in the first game. If it turns into the Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett show and those two struggle, it is not going to take long for the Shedeur screams to be coming from the stands in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think they're already coming. I think the Browns are just – what do you think they're thinking, James? Like – the Browns coaching staff, like Stefanski, he's calling the game. Shedeur plays well. He's 2 touchdowns, 138 yards. Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking now. They took Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds ahead of him.
Yeah, and we had a guy from Cleveland on, and he was talking about it, and he was like, I think they took Gabriel because they've got so much money tied up in Deshaun Watson who won't be playing that they essentially have to have a rookie quarterback as their backup. And so I think they thought Gabriel was more of the ready to just come in and be the number 2 and could come into the game if he had to. But, Shedeur's the guy with the upside. So I think Gabriel's, hey, how do we have a cheap backup this year? But I don't think they look at him as their long-term answer. Seems like a waste of a 3rd-round pick to me, but I did think that explanation made some sense. But if I'm Kevin Stefanski, if you've got a quarterback who can make plays, you got a chance. If you don't, you have virtually no chance. You have to scheme it up so much better than the next guy, and that's hard to do at the NFL level. So if I'm him, I don't care if it is my guy that I drafted or wanted. If I see a guy making plays like that, I'm doing cartwheels down the hallway. So if he's got any sense, he should be excited because he finally has a quarterback there that has the potential to be a difference maker.
A Cleveland Browns writer told me tonight, James, that he thinks they might keep all 4 because they got to have Pickett still unless they can trade him. He thinks they might keep 4 QBs. I think that's wild.
I think it is too. I don't imagine they keep 4, but I don't think Shedeur would be the odd man out because he's the one guy that would for sure get picked up if they cut him. Like, you're not going to sneak him through to the practice squad. Somebody you would think would pick him up unless the collusion continues. But I think it's Flacco's job as long as things are on the rails for the first month and a half of the season. I don't know. I mean, you probably keep Kenny Pickett in case, let's say you start 4-1 with Joe and then Flacco gets hurt. It's like, okay, you want to keep things probably a little stable with Kenny Pickett, but I don't foresee that happening, and I think it becomes the youth movement sooner rather than later in Cleveland. And if it's me, and I'm a buff, I went to CU, I'm biased, but if it's me, that's a real easy decision of who I'm trying to play to build for the future.
James Merilatt in tonight talking Shedeur, talking Bo Nix. What a weekend. Preseason. I never thought we'd be into that. DenverSports.com for the coverage. Find him on X at James Merilatt. James, always appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you bet. Anytime, Nate. Thanks.
Appreciate it. James Merilatt, DenverSports.com, live from Denver. Headlines with Bo Nix. Headlines with Shedeur Sanders. What a beautiful weekend in August. Find him on X at James Merilatt. The only other dumb thing the Browns did, besides going Shedeur, Gabriel in the 3rd round, Shedeur in the 5th round, the only dumb thing they did was they gave away the pick for Travis Hunter. You could have had Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. Are you guys awake? Wake up. Boy, what a miss. And now they're talking about, let's see, Shedeur, yeah, we'll see. Dylan Gabriel's coming along. He might... Again, quote me, Dylan Gabriel's not going to be an NFL quarterback, okay? Have a good day. High school football is underway. They're out there practicing right now. Is it 2-a-day time? Jason Andera is on next, talking high school football teams to keep an eye on here in the preseason. Jason Andera coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with 0 regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
Remember when life was simple? Nope, me neither. The summer sun may feel great to us, but summer heat takes its toll on your vehicle. Don't risk your family's vacation fun by ignoring vehicle maintenance. When it comes to your vehicle maintenance or repair, keeping it simple is easy. The ASE certified technicians at Al's D&I can make sure your car is in top running condition. Maintenance now or fix it later. Most vehicles, most years, and most countries. Al's D&I can fix them. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Monday edition of the program. Fox Sports Radio, The Nate Brown Show. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a solid day. Week is underway. Thanks for checking in. If you missed some of the show, go to The Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show's there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. You've got to search The Nate Brown Show, and then you've got South Dakota Sports Talk Show and all of our guests. You can listen on demand when you're mowing the lawn and all that fun stuff. We have a guy who walks his dog, listens to The Nate Brown Show. What a beauty. That's good stuff. Kurtiss Riggs on tonight. That was quality. Scott Petrak from Cleveland Browns camp. He covered the Shedeur-Sanders game Friday. That was good insight. James Merilatt moments ago from Denver. Now to the high school football side. He covers high school sports. One of the top guys in South Dakota. Jason Andera is back on. It is August. It is Jason Andera time. 605 Jandy on X. He's there. Jason, how are you, man?
I like that. It's Jandy time.
I got it.
It's football time. It's Jandy time. Let's go. High school football has been under wraps for far too long. Time to let people know what's about coming their way.
I'm in mid-season form already. So I want to get your take here. I just talked to Kurtiss Riggs, and I'm going to kind of break down some of the teams from you. But I talked to Kurtiss Riggs. He's been out to the AAA schools. And he said he thinks there's a lot of parity in AAA football from the East River side. Do you think that just off the top?
I especially think the top four teams are really even, and I think 11 AA is even more even from 1 through like 6 or so. The top two classes are going to be very competitive, and we say this every year, and somebody comes out and puts together an undefeated season or one loss, and, you know, it's going to happen. I just don't know which team it's going to be. There are so many good teams at the top.
Okay, so he says AAA's has some parity amongst some of the big metro schools. He thinks Lincoln has the best quarterback. He sounded like in the state. What do you say about Schaefer at QB?
Yeah, I think I echo Kurtiss 100% on that, and I think that's what gives Lincoln an excellent chance as their quarterback who can make plays, 2 excellent wide receivers. Their defense has a couple of guys back, a couple of key guys back. Lincoln is in great shape for a third year in a row. I'm not sure if they're the favorites, but they do have some of the best weapons at the top.
Okay, what do you say? Brandon Valley has been a team that they're just in the mix, it seems like now every year, like top tier, whether it's semifinals, whether it's state championship game. Brandon Valley, good up front. Do we know about their skill players?
Yeah, really good up front. About every other year, it seems like Brandon Valley has the best line in the state, and I think this year they're back at the top on the offensive line and the defensive line, Mekhi Zocker and some of those guys, along with their FBS future Iowa player, Hudson Parliament. Those guys are outstanding. I like their quarterback. He does a good job of managing the game. They don't have a Landon Delaney, though, a guy who can just break stuff open on the outside. Excellent defense, excellent running back in Levi Vesconer. I think they're going to turn to the run more this year. Let Levi Vesconer just hide up right behind those big guys and run all over people. I think that's going to be a good formula for the Lynx this year.
Jason Andera talking high school football practice for the big schools starting today. A lot of the programs getting going. The smaller schools got going. They have games already next week. High school sports analyst Jason Andera on tonight. You do a coaches poll, and I always find this interesting. I look through it. Now, you don't get everybody to respond, but you get, some coaches to send stuff back to you. Does it give us kind of a glimpse of what they think? At least they kind of look around. They talk to each other. You think the coaches give a pretty good perspective?
Yeah, they're pretty good. And, some media outlets don't ask people to rank their own teams. I always say, hey, rank your own team, see where you belong. Some people do, some people don't, but it all evens out at the end. And you find out over the years which coaches kind of play it sly and underrate themselves, and then you find which guys are maybe a little too overconfident. So I've done this enough times, Nate, to kind of figure that rhythm out for a lot of these guys. But you get a pretty good representation, even though, I probably got 60-some responses from coaches, which is quite a few, but not, overly dramatic. But you get a good idea, and we were talking about 11 AAA. It's Brandon, Valley, Lincoln, Harrisburg, and Jefferson. Those are your 4 teams this year, much like last year, that look like the teams to beat, and the coaches definitely agree with that.
Okay, that's what I see. Brandon, Valley, Lincoln, Jefferson, Harrisburg, according to your AAA coaches poll. I want to go with Central and Stevens. They have new coaches again. Now, you just tell me, Jason, new coaches is, people say, well, you can't win if you're changing coaches all the time. They're trying to get on track. Central had Kurtiss. He was doing a great job for Rapid City Central, which has been a tough place to win. Brandon Kurtiss still trying to hang on as a volunteer assistant. He took a full-time job that he can't do the coaching thing. Central and Stevens, brand new coaches. How tough do you think that is against starting kind of from scratch again?
It is. It's difficult every year not knowing any continuity of what the coaching staff expects from you. I think you're right. Rapid City Central's in a better situation this year than Stevens starting from brand new. And Rapid City Central also has some really good players back from last year where they overachieved a little bit. I think that's a team to maybe watch out for, and Stevens could surprise you. You just don't know. You can't pin it all on coaching, but high school football is so dependent on good coaching and organization and knowing expectations. And, high school kids thrive in that environment, and you can see it year in, year out. The same teams are kind of knocking on the door of the playoffs or of the Dome, and a lot of that has to do with great coaching.
I'll go to 11 AA in your coaches poll. I see everybody put Pierre back on top. They got knocked off. They made it to the title game, but they got knocked off. You think Pierre's the team now again?
That one surprised me the most, and I think that's kind of a reflex now for 11 AA coaches, just to put Pierre at number 1 and worry about the rest later. I think it is wide open. Pierre has their starting quarterback back. They've got a couple weapons, of course, Cooper Terwilliger, the guy who's going to play FBS football at tight end, but I really like what the Spearfish team brings back. They were a young team that was on the move last year. I think T-Area is the other team you really have to watch out for. They had their quarterback hurt last year. He's back full-time in Brenner Conrad, and they've got a lot of young guys and a big roster to come back to. I think one of those two teams, Spearfish, T-Area, could be the surprise teams. And then you've got some really good teams from Yankton and Brookings, too. And those are the kind of teams that always seem to be in the mix.
Okay, so you think Brookings and Yankton might be in the mix. I want to go 11A. Jason Andera's on tonight. Follow him at 605 Jandy. The high school football season getting underway. 11A, the coaches put Sioux Falls Christian.
Yeah.
So Sioux Falls Christian, the number 1 in every sport now?
Yeah. It's starting to look like that, isn't it? They just have a ton of 6'2", 6'3" guys, 200, 210 pounds, that can play multiple positions on offense and defense. Just big, strong team, and a lot of players come out for football at Sioux Falls Christian. I think this Lennox team that went all the way last year is just as good as they were last year, and that's saying something with a quarterback that they lost, a Division II quarterback in Boston Katzer. I think they've got that much talent that they could be just as good as they were last year. And then the regulars, Del Rapids, West Central, Madison, Dakota Valley, Rapid City Christian is moving their way up in 11A as well. But I think it's Lennox, Sioux Falls Christian, very similar to last year, and it's kind of trite and boring to say it's going to be a rematch in the Dome, but those two teams are looking really good coming into the season.
And say it isn't so. Finally, in 11B, we'll wrap up our 11-man discussion. 11B, you just put winner in again, huh? Winner. And it's unbelievable. Speaking of 11B, that's a tough class to win all the time, and they seem like they do.
They have the fewest players out for football that they have had in over a decade. This is a team that's not stocked, rocked, and ready to roll. I think, again, people put winner number one. They just assume they're going to be a team to beat, but I love the talent in 11B. I would be surprised if winner makes it back to the Dome this year, honestly. Sioux Valley, Elk Point, Jefferson, and the very young St. Thomas More team that really opened some eyes in the playoffs last year. I think those three teams have a really good path to the Dome this year.
Okay, last one. My question of the day a few weeks ago on the Nate Brown Show, Jason, was about high school football. What is the, taking into history and recent success, so the program, what is the number one football brand in South Dakota? What would you say?
Oh, that is a tough one. The football brand.
The number one high school football brand.
With what Steve Steele has done with Pierre and what they've done over the last decade. I think, West Central's got quite a brand with what they've done in the late 90s, early 2000s. But I think Pierre, you just look at them, the way Steele runs it, I got to give it to the Govs.
Okay, you go Govs. I went winner. Just because I thought the Govs had their way with everybody for a long time in this new AA class, and now it's evened out a little bit. But I thought 11B is so tough to win every year, and winner has done that. I mean, I think it's been amazing. So I went winner, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, the best brand in South Dakota high school football. Jason Andera with his coach's poll and a new poll that we'll be discussing coming out as well. Jason, we're ready to go, man. It's season's here. We'll get you on again. Thanks for the time.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nate.
Appreciate it. Jason Andera on tonight, high school sports analyst, 605 Jandy. Follow him on Twitter as the season gets going. Did you hear about this new poll? Coming soon. Coming soon to South Dakota high school football. Now, this is real, though. I'm not messing around. I think we'll make that announcement this week, I think. Who puts these plans in place? I'll make the announcement whenever we want, okay? Who's hot and who's not? We wrap up the show next. There is a preseason football play that you missed. I know you missed this. This is unbelievable. It made my Who's Hot category, and then a streaming announcement today that's in my Who's Not coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Fun's overboard!
Hey, it's not like it's a person. What's the big deal?
What? That was our only package of Village Hearth old-fashioned buns.
We may as well toss the hot dogs, too. Head for the shore.
Don't let soggy buns put a damper on your lake day. Practice food safety.
Village Hearth, in the land of 10,000 lakes, there's only one bun for your summertime fun.
Shop the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus GM certified pre-owned at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 350 used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, and buy with no money down, and make no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. All credit apps accepted. Choose from Chevys, GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Over 350 of them. You could buy with no down and no payments for 90 days. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a slight chance for storms. Lows around 58, winds out of the northwest 8 to 15 miles per hour. High of 83 tomorrow. Lows dip down to about 63 tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mainly sunny skies and dry Wednesday and Thursday, low 90s. Wednesday, mid-90s by Thursday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 80 degrees.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, summitautogrp.com.
It's the Spin and Sail Cruise giveaway, only at Cadillac Jackson Deadwood. Earn just 25 points to qualify. Then keep playing to rack up even more entries. Fridays and Saturdays, we're drawing winners from 8 to 11:30 p.m. for $300 prize packages, with a $1,000 drawing at midnight. Then on Saturday, August 30th, 10 lucky winners will draw for grand prizes, and 4 will win a cruise and a seat in the $1 million Wheel of Fortune Spin and Win slot tournament at sea. Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
All right, who's hot and who's not tonight on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch tonight. Stop by the buffet. Really good stuff, our favorite. Who's hot category going to a play that you probably missed, because I missed it and then it popped up. I'm like, this is unbelievable. The Jaguars kicker Cam Little hit a field goal right before halftime over the weekend in the preseason game, a 70-yarder. I mean, since when do we hit 70-yarders? Jaguars kicker Cam Little, 70-yarder, he knocked it down. Unreal. We've never seen that. In our Pizza Ranch, who's not tonight? ESPN and Fox have announced they're teaming up on a new streaming bundle for $39.99. So now ESPN and Fox are teaming up on another streaming thing. I already have them. It's on my TV. Give me a break. See you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why